We may sometimes find ourselves in a situation where we need to manipulate an inventory record in some unusual way that I'm going to kind of generally classify as splitting inventory. Let's take a look at our first example here. And we have some crack suppression. We have 8 rolls, and we usually sell this by the roll. However, periodically we want to be able to sell that by the square foot. So we're going to go through a couple of steps here. We're going to start off by coming right up here to our hammer and screwdriver, and we're going to click on that. All right, and when we do, we get a few options here. Adjustment date is fine. We're going to come over here to the amount to adjust, and we're going to say we're going to adjust 1 roll, and then we're going to come down here to the adjustment type. For that, I'm going to select transfer, and then I'm going to leave that at another item. What this is going to do for us is it's simply going to take 1 roll and split it off from the others. All right, and there we can see we now have 2 lines, and we can see one has 7 rolls, one has 1 roll. So that was the first step there. Now that we've split off this 1 roll, we want to fundamentally change what it says. So as we open this line up, we're just going to double click it. The first thing we're going to look at is cost. Now right now we're saying that this is $75 a roll. However, there are 100 square feet per roll, so we want to change this to 75 cents. When we do that, we are going to get a message here that is going to create a new record. So we're going to have yet another new record. We're going to go ahead and say yes. And when we do that, we're not going to change another thing. The reason being is that once we say we want to create a new record, that's what RFMS is going to focus on. Any other changes we try to make are going to get ignored. All right, we are going to go ahead and let that value adjustment ride. And now we have yet a new record here, and this one with our gross cost that we were looking for. Now we're going to open up that new record and make the rest of our changes. Really all we need to do here is maybe change something in the description here to indicate. I'll put partial roll there for the description. Let's see, we'll change the units to square foot. Let's see, and ultimately we're going to change the quantity available to 100. Let's see, that looks like probably everything we need to do here. And once again, there's going to be a value adjustment. That's fine. This message is fine. All right, now we basically have at this point what we're looking for. So now we have a roll here that indicates 100 square feet available at 75 cents a square foot. If we jump over and look at those adjustments we just made, we can see that these 2 bottom adjustments here actually end up balancing out against each other in material cost. One is for a positive, the other is for a negative, so we have not adversely affected the GL in any kind of way. Now for our second example here, we have a windowsill. We've actually got 6 of them over here, and those are 6 by 72. However, we've discovered that 2 of them are damaged, and we feel like we can salvage something out of them, but they're now only going to be 6 by 36 pieces, and the rest we're going to have to throw away. So the first thing we're going to need to do is set up a new inventory record. If we wanted to, we could go through a similar process I did on the crack suppression. I'm going to do this one just a tiny bit different. We're going to go to Utilities and Return Found Inventory and select our supplier. All that is fine. All right, and this is going to be an item without a PO. And I've already set up in products a product called Windowsill 6 by 36 just for this occasion. We go ahead and select that. We could steal the same lading number that was on the original, which if I'm not mistaken was something probably like that. Maybe match up the rest of the information. All right, so in this case, the gross cost I've actually put in as half the cost of the full sill. For quantity received right here, whatever I put in, I'm actually going to get rid of in just a second. You'll see that. Let's see, if I wanted to, I could put in 1, I could put in 2, since that's ultimately what I'm going to be going after here. And once I'm done, I can go ahead and click done there, close out. And if we refresh that, we should see a new line here with 2 partial window sills. However, I want to adjust for this properly. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to hit the hammer and screwdriver, and I'm going to get rid of that quantity I just put in. And I'm also going to want to get rid of the associated adjustment. I'm just trying to create an empty line right now. With that done, I'm going to jump over to claims. And as I've shown in a previous tutorial, I've actually set up an adjustment claim here. I'm going to open that up. And I'm going to insert a couple of lines here. All right, here's our original 6 sills that we had. However, we're going to say now 2 of them have been lost to us, and put some sort of note here. And then I'm also going to find my new sill, which I'm going to have to change my parameters for in order to see that. So I'm going to look at 0 available, grab that line, and put in -2. And a note as well. All right, on neither one of these am I going to want to have any sort of price here as previously described. Since this is a loss claim, there's nobody to collect money from. We'll close out of that and come back over here to inventory to see the results. Let's just go ahead and refresh that. All right, and now we can see for the 6x72 we have 4 available, and for the 6x36 we now have 2 available. Now I do want to point out, just in case you didn't pick up on it, I added some extra steps there that weren't absolutely necessary. It's really just for the traceability of having information here on this claim so that we can see later what it is that happened. And in the future, now that I have this 6x36 line, I can use it over and over as long as the cost doesn't change dramatically. And that is it for our tutorial. If you need more information, you can always go to the real experts at rfms.com, go to their support site, or call the help desk.